So why am I focusing my attention on Freemasonry, besides for my own family account? Well, I agree with Mr. Wayne and many other authors that Freemasonry is behind bringing about this order, this globalist world order, this new global agenda, let's just say. So, quoting from Mr. Wayne's book once again, and the reason why I continue to do so is his research and bibliography is very extensive on this topic. So, quoting from his book, the Freemasons and all their genitive and associated organizations believe the real God of the universe is Lucifer. Freemasonry and all their associative organizations are ultimately preparing to bring about the New World Order under the New Babel that worships Lucifer. The teachings of all the diverse forms of mysticism preach the same doctrine, all declaring Lucifer to be the fallen seraphim angel. This is certainly witnessed by the Freemasons, the New Age movement, and particularly witnessed by the Freemasons, or the center of Freemasonry, the Illuminati. Lucifer masquerades as an angel of light. Light is the Masonic symbol for intelligence, information, knowledge, and truth, or at least according to them. Freemasonry had to establish itself in America in order to achieve this global domination. So let me continue to quote once again from Mr. Wayne's book. Among the first of these globalist institutions was the Federal Reserve in America. This most important bastion of Western economic leadership was established through persistent efforts by illuminated Freemasonry in partnership with the Rothschild, Rockefeller, Morgan axis. The Morgans worked closely with the Rockefellers to conceive the founding of a banking cartel. They did this in a secret meeting held in 1910 at J.P. Morgan's private resort on an island off the coast of Georgia. Their subversive efforts paid off with the suspicious passing and enactment of the Federal Reserve Bank Act, while opposing congressmen had already adjourned for the Christmas holiday season, ensuring European Illuminists a permanent role in America's finances and its de facto economic destiny. Most believe the Federal Reserve is government-owned and government-directed, but it is not. It is a private corporation held by stockholders whose names are kept secret through the Federal Reserve Act. However, it has come to light that the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers are the most important and influential stockholders of the Federal Reserve. And we now know why this was so important to these elite banking families. It was to usher in these large global foundations that would set the world stage for the coming Antichrist. Continuing to quote from Mr. Wayne's book, the most important political organization spawned by the banking cartel and the globalist forces, according to Gary Kah, is the Council on Foreign Relations. Who created the CFR? What makes it so powerful? What is its hidden agenda? CFR propaganda now overwhelmingly influences globalist policy. The CFR is the epicenter for the political world union. The Council on Foreign Relations, or CFR, came about from a secretive meeting held during World War I. President Woodrow Wilson formed a group, the Inquiry, to plan post-war solutions that were globalist in nature and centered on the removal of national and economic barriers and opening up free trade. After the close of World War I, at the Paris peace negotiations, Wilson commissioned Edward Mandell House to organize a dinner party to broach the idea of forming an institute to guide foreign policy. The Inquiry, the Fabian Society, and the Rhodes Roundtable groups, led by Lord Milner, later formed the Institute of International Affairs in the United States and the Royal Institute of International Affairs in England. On July 21, 1921, the American entity officially changed its name to the Council on Foreign Relations, complete with a building donated for their cause by the Pratt family of Rockefeller's Standard Oil. CFR funding derived from a clan of bankers consisting of J.D. Rockefeller, J.P. Morgan, Bernard Baruch, Jacob Schiff, Otto Kahn, and Paul Warburg. Today's funding derives mainly from the Rockefeller Brothers Fund, the Starr Foundation, Pew Charitable Trust, the Ford Foundation, the German Marshall Fund, the McKnight Foundation, the Dillon Foundation, Xerox, GM, Texaco, and Bristol-Myers Squibb. These are all tax-exempt foundations funded by banks. David Rockefeller was intensely involved with the CFR, along with the Bilderbergers and Trilateral Commission. The Council on Foreign Relations, or CFR, is the source organization steering most other powerful globalist organizations. It publishes Foreign Affairs, the most prestigious journal read in foreign policy. Admiral Chester Ward, a former member of the CFR, warns that the CFR's objective is to bring about the surrender of national sovereignty and the natural independence of the United States. Some believe the CFR and trilateral organizations to be the current Rex Do vehicle to bring about world government. The Trilateral Commission specializes in promoting world government through encouraging economic interdependence among the superpowers. It is a derivative of the CFR that began with the CFRs and the Bilderbergers' blessing at the Rockefeller Estate in Tarrytown, New York, July 23, 1972. The CFR usually leads the Trilateral Commission, and the members must derive from the three economic superpowers of North America, Europe, and Japan. The Trilateral Commission believes in a global government, a global monetary system, and a global tax policy. The Bilderberger Organization of Europe is yet another highly influential group of intrigue that is sponsored by the banks, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, along with other globalist forces. Some powerful Freemasons consider the Bilderbergers to be the most clandestine and sinister secret society of all. The Bilderbergers Foundation was incorporated to bring about the union of all European nations into one economic, geopolitical, and militaristic entity. Their cause, according to Marr, just as it is the CFR's cause, is to bring about world government under the same model. And finishing up here, let me conclude with saying we must include into the mix of the elitist globalist organizations the renowned and infamous Club of Rome, formed in 1968. This organization contains less than 100 members, whom are all CFR members. The Club of Rome is alleged by some to report to the little-known Snake Committee of 300. They claim to hold the keys to world peace and global prosperity through world government. So my focus on Freemasonry has more to do with the big picture of them being the leading force behind a world or global government through their communion with fallen angels, leading to a world government with dominion all over the earth.